Hello and welcome to another video, and this one is going to be the should you buy for the Rifleman IIC. We're going to take a look at the mech, its stats, its hardpoints, and its hitbox locations based off that concept art, and see whether or not it is a purchase you should make. Now, I've been looking forward to the Rifleman IIC. I like all of the 2Cs in the game because 2Cs are kind of the best combination. They have battle mech flexibility with the ability to change out your engine to really customize the mech and tune it to be the best it can be with clan technology, which is great. Clan tech is better tech. Thank you, XL Engines. You are delicious. But now we have freaking, what is this, like UFO saucer head here. Is the Rifleman IIC going to be good? Well, let's take a look at the packages. This is the standard pricing as we've always seen it before. The Ultimate is $70 and includes everything. As I will always say, it would be nice if it was 5 or 10 less than the cost of just adding everything together, because it is the collectors plus the hero plus the reinforcements, so 40 plus 30 equals the 70. If this was 65 or 60, just to say, hey, thank you for dropping all of the money that you could have spent on a full AAA game. Now, here is a little bit of a bonus, less cost to it. That would be nice. Alternatively, the amount of stuff you get is the same amount of premium time, cockpit items, and stuff as collectors. If they're not going to drop the cost, because that doesn't seem like anything they're going to do, because I've said this every single time, boost this. Put in like a little bit of MC with this. That would be delicious. Because then you could go in and be like, hey, just enough MC to camo all of your riflemans. That would be cool. Anyway, moving on. The standard pack, $20, gets you the 2C, the 2C2, and the 2C3. We've got the collectors with the Rifle 2C with a 30% premium, 30% C-bill boost as like a hero. We've got 30 days of premium time with the standard, 60 days with the collectors. For the hero, we've got the Chironix. Oh god, I don't know how to pronounce it because I didn't practice this. It's the CH, whatever it's going to be called. It's 30% increase in C-bills, and we'll take a look at whether or not it is really good and whether or not you want it. Then the reinforcements with the 4 and the A, we'll see if they bring anything really specific to the battlefield compared to the other variants. We'll go on down to the mech specs. This is a battle mech, so we're looking at these in top to bottom, as we have no omnipods to swap around, but we'll look at the base stats first. We have a tonnage of 65. We have an engine of, 195 standard. This thing is slow as shit. With a max engine rating of 235, that's the max engine rating on a Blackjack. The Blackjack is like 20 tons lighter than this. So this thing is slow. Alternatively, a couple of the variants, the 2 and the A, have slightly higher maximum engine ratings, more of what you would see in a mech of this size. And that is basically the same max engine rating as the Jaeger mech has, which this is essentially a clan version of the Jaeger mech. It's the same weight, same profile. It's technically the Rifleman 2C, but this Rifleman is a little bit larger than the standard IS Rifleman. Other than that, we have jump jets on everyone except the A, no ECM, and no mask. So let's pop over to the spreadsheet warrior and take a look at what possible amounts of pod space we're going to get on this thing. Since this thing is 65 tons and it's a clan, we're all going to take XL engines because XL engines are OP as hell with their ability to lose a side torso and keep going with no issue to your life. Since the majority of them have a max engine rating of 235, we have to just put that in there. That is what some of them can only get to, is a 235. That is getting you a max speed of 58.6. This is assault level speed. So it's a little concerning. If you have a mech that is this size with this level of durability currently in the game, It works if you do it right, but you have to really play it correctly. You have to really be predictive of when your team is moving and stay ahead of the potato rotato so that you don't get left behind and get eaten like a slow assault, like a direwolf or something like that. However, the really good part of this is that you have like 60% of your mech for weapon space. Now, this 40 is incorrect. It's actually 39 because you still need to put a heatsink on because this is only at 235. It's not even 250 yet. So this should be 39, not 40, but still, 60% of your space is allocated to guns. And at around 40 tons, you know, that's like a light assault mech in terms of actual weight that you're going to be using. That's a lot of firepower. But we have to maneuver around our slow butt. Let us come out of full screen here so we can see all the different tabs. We have got several tabs already in MechDB because he's already got it up there. God, I love that site. We're going to take a look at the individual variants one at a time and see what kind of builds I've theory crafted for them. Starting off with the Rifleman IIC, the base variant. This is the one where if you get the collectors or the ultimate pack, you will get this as well in 30% C-build boost. You have a total of 7 energy. You have 1 in the head, 3 in each arm. If we pop over to the build for that, I figured a basic wub build. You just pack the thing with as many heatsinks as possible. We got a pair of large pulse in each arm. We got 5 medium pulse lasers. We're getting a total firepower of 56.5. We have an insane quantity of heatsinks, so this thing can drop heat like crazy. With a little bit of jump jets to help that low maneuverability with the XL235. We're going to be going slow with our top speed only being that 58.5. However, the jump jets will help us if we're caught on maps such as Canyon Network. We can get up and down the canyon without having to walk around, which will allow us to take shortcuts. That's very important. But still, we are a slow mech. But this is a lot of firepower for a 65 tonner. We can pump this all out. We got really good heat efficiency at 47%, and we can just keep wubbing things to death. Alternatively, another build you could do is a quad peep build and just sit in the back, not worry as much about your mobility, and just dirt from a distance. Now, this is going to be a little hot. The heat efficiency does say 44%, but ERPPCs, especially on the clan side, are just like they're annoyingly hot, deceptively hot is what the word I was looking for. So this could work, but maybe for a large pulse laser would be better, and to alternate those, and that would be much easier on your heat. You'd be able to chain fire that for much longer, doing 2x2 than the 4 PPCs. But this also has the good upfront hit. Well, they're both functional. We're going to head over to the Rifleman IIC2. This is your ballistic memes, man. This has got 6 ballistics, 3 in each arm. There's only one build for this. 6 Ultra 2s. That's it. This is what this mech is. I'm setting this up on my version of it, and I'm just leaving it there permanently, right? It can fit 6 Ultra 2s. It's got the larger engine capacity. You can take more than the 235. So we've got a 255 in here. That way we don't need external heat sinks. And then we just put in as many Ultra 2s as it can fit, which is all of them, and then just filled up with ammo, which is a lot. It probably will run out of ammo fairly quickly because realistically, you've only got like 1.2 tons per gun. It's probably not enough. You probably want to cut a Ultra 2 and just fill up with ammo and maybe a couple heat sinks in its space. However, this is the meme. A 65 tonner with 6 2s. That is fun. This will be interesting in Solaris. I really wonder what division this is going into. My god. Next up is a Rifleman 3, the last of the standard pack. We have an energy in each arm for a total of 2, and 2 ballistic in each arm. So, we can do similar DACA things like we've done over here with the Rifleman 2 variant, with its 6, but this one just has 4, so we take the 2s, we upgrade them to 5s, we do 4 Ultra 5s, we get some jump jets, we get a little bit extra mobility, we get that engine, unfortunately capped at 235, so we have to take at least one additional extra heatsink, although I just threw another one on there for reasons. I was basically being like, I don't know what to put on here. But because I had that little bit of extra tonnage, you could theoretically cut that extra heatsink, cut some of the jump jets. You could upgrade one of the 5s into a 10 and get a little bit better damage out of that. Also, if you really wanted to go pure memes, and you were, say, like a Solaris version of this, you just want to go full DACA, you could theoretically do 2 5s and 2 10s, like the Mad Cat Mark II B variant. That standard, like that meta DACA vomit. And you could do that 90-ton mech build on a 65-tonner, but it's going to be slow as hell, fragile, and very low ammo. But you could do it if you wanted to meme. So you could have assault level firepower on a 65-tonner. Ugh. A little frightening there, but that's something you can do. Do I have this one set up? No, I didn't really get any other builds for this. Alternatively, you can do like 4 2s and some lasers. You can do a combination. You can do stuff like that. Also, good to note that these arms are just upper arm actuator. There's no lowers, so you can fit things like LB20s in here, and there's no hands, and so you could do a pair of great big things like a pair of 20s and a pair of medium pulse and do a burl build if you wish. But moving on to the reinforcement pack with the Rifleman IIC 4, this is the first one we've seen with missile. So we've got 1 energy in each arm for a total of 2, and then 2 missile in each arm for a total of 4. If we take a look at the builds you can do on that, you could just do a standard sort of brawl type thing with 4 Artemis 6s and 2 ERPPCs, a lot of double heat sinks to keep the thing cool, and then plenty of ammo. Might be a little hot with the ERPPCs, like I said before. They're deceptively hot with how much heat they create in an instant. And you can maybe switch those out for heavy large lasers or large pulse lasers or however you wanted to do it so that you could ease off the heat a little bit. But essentially, just you have 4 Artemis 6s and you have some laser backup or at least some energy backup when you're closing with the 6s. That way you're not completely useless beyond 270. Alternatively, you can go the long-range missile route in either ATMs or LRMs, such as with this. We've got 4 ATM-9s and a pair of medium pulse lasers, and I think what should be plenty of ammo, some jump jets, and additional heat sinks. You could take those medium pulse, change them down to normal mediums, or whatever you want. If you want to get a little weight out of them and put some more heat sinks on, that's up to you. But I think that it's got enough heat efficiency and, have those medium pulse in case you need to tickle a light's leg that is tickling your butt so that you can get it out of your face. Next up, we have got the Rifleman IIC A, which is the second one in the reinforcement pack. This has got a total of 4 energy, 1 in each arm, 1 in each side torso, a total of 2 ballistic, 1 in each arm. Take a look at the builds for that one, which start here. Again, you can do assault level firepower on this. This thing is possible to run dual heavy large, dual ER mediums, dual Gauss, which is silly because it's super bad for your heat. You're going to get to 87 heat efficiency, like 87 of your maximum heat capacity on a single shot. But this is a 65 tonner that is doing 75 damage. So it's like if it shot itself, its armor would be flashing red in the CT. So that's pretty powerful. You can alternatively, if you wish, you can take these heavy large lasers, you can downgrade them and get a little bit extra oomph in your engine, and then maybe a little bit of extra ammo and do something more like this, which is more of a skirmisher type thing. Dual Gauss, still dual Gauss on a 65 tonner is pretty strong. But now we're going 74.7 compared to previously we're only going 63.5. So we're having that little bit extra ability to run around. And we've got 4 medium lasers, so we have that as the backup for the Gauss, a little bit extra ammo, a targeting computer to speed up the Gauss projectile, so it's a little easier to hit. This is the only one that has no jump jets. Otherwise, I would put some jump jets on here. I probably don't need this much Gauss ammo. As if you take the nodes, 2.5 tons is more than enough for a Gauss gun, and 3 tons is probably overkill, unless you're doing some siege defense mission where you're just shooting all day long because you're just farming the opponent, so you're amazing. But yeah, also this is just the standard sort of thing of you've got 4 backup energy weapons here plus 2 large ballistics. So you can put any large ballistics in here with the Ultra 20s, the LB 20s. They're all the same weight as the Gauss, as it is 12 tons. All of the 20 sized are the same weight, and you could get double 10s in here and change these regular lasers into pulse lasers if you wish. This is I think a pretty rounded variant for energy ballistic. And the last one here is the CH, the Hero. We have a total of 3 energy, if I'm not mistaken, 1 in the head, 1 in each side torso, 2 ballistic, 1 in each arm, and 2 missile, 1 in each arm. Take a look at the build for that I've come up with. It can do a very similar sort of heavy laser type build because we put the 1 ER medium. We don't have the 2nd ER medium, so we're losing a little bit of damage there, but it's still a really big Gauss Vom type design. We're able to get a little bit extra double heat sinks here because we only have the 1 laser that we have to worry about with the ER medium. We're saving a little bit of tonnage there. But, I mean, this one's okay. It's going to be a pretty good Gauss, pretty good laser ballistic combo with the, again, 1 large ballistic in each arm and then backup lasers in the middle. The missile, it's only got 2. It's not really feeling it. I kind of like to have at least 3 missiles at a time before I start doing SRMs and stuff like that. You could do lasers and big ATMs. That could work. But I don't know. I feel like with all of the weight this thing has, you're going to have to run ballistics on specifically the variants that have the really low engine cap of only the 230, which is, oh god, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, that's the builds for the different variants that I've come up with. Let's take a look at its concept art and talk about that UFO dome. So, essentially what this mech is, in like the concept of lore behind it, is it's a walking anti-air gun. And you may want to Google and take a look at like current technology of anti-air mobile platforms. They don't look like tanks at all. You may think of like, oh, it's just a tank with like multiple guns on it, like oh, what's that old one from World War II Germany? It's the Ostwind or whatever, or it's the Flakpanzer. But you may think it's going to look like a tank, but then it's got this like great big radar dish on it and all that kind of stuff. This mech is designed to do anti-air rolls, which will require a radar receiver so that it could see the enemy as it's coming in and then shoot them. So they tried to bring that along here with sort of like a receiver disc on top of the mech, and that's, again, sort of inspired by the lore of it and the lore art. I think it looks kind of cool, but I have concerns about what that is in terms of hitbox. This laser here is the head laser, I assume. So I want to assume that that isn't head hitbox, because if it is, that would be a huge hitbox. The head hitbox is typically only the glass of the cockpit. So I bet that isn't. It's, oh god, what is it? It's kind of like the Shadowhawk that I have, where you have the head missile, but the missile is beside the head, and the hitbox for it is center torso, I think it is, or side torso. So I would guess that this is center torso, and this sort of side bit of it is side, and this other side of it is other side, sort of where this little greebling of the armor here denotes the different portions of it, I would guess. Well, that's really concerning, because that thing is probably going to be super easy to shoot. It just feels like it's a little oversized. Like, the Rifleman is already pretty easy to shoot, and then if you add a great big sort of sombrero on it that says, "Shoot me here," like, is that really good? But the concept behind it, of it being this radar dish, could give it some interesting quirks, like how the Cyclops sort of has that radio setup antenna on the back of its head. This could have some plus sensor range things on it, so they could, that's its thing, is that it's able to pick out mechs because it's got this radar dish on its head. That would be kind of cool. But then the rest of this is essentially a rifleman. So if you want to know the hitboxes, go shoot a rifleman. You can do that in the game right now. The arms, oh, I accidentally clicked on it. They're just going to be cockpit level. Everything's going to be very cockpit level, just like the rifleman is now, just like the Jaeger mech. Overall, I think the mech is going to be good, but niche. Because the low speed really dictates how it has to play. You have to be predictive of how your team's going to move. You have to be predictive of how your team's going to move, and you have to respond to that so perfectly, because it's not like you're an Annihilator. Like, an Annihilator is slow as this, but the Annihilator has so much armor that it doesn't care. It can make pushes, it can lead charges, it can decide to go out in the open because it can. It can just be a presence somewhere. Where this, unless they give it massive durability quirks, it's a rifleman. You can't lead pushes in a rifleman. You're basically going to, with this thing, you're going to find an assault, you're going to snap yourself to him, and then you're just going to not leave him for the rest of the match and serve as covering fire for him. You want the assault to step out and start taking hits while you step out and then deal massive damage. That's what you're doing. You're trading a massive amount of speed and probably durability to just deal assault level damage in a heavy. And a lighter heavy at that. So yeah, I don't know. I would really love it if the variants that are at 235, if they could just be at like 250, so we don't need any extra external heatsinks. In the perfect world, 275, so you could get a little bit of speed out of this, but I'm not going to complain, not that far. Maybe if they just set it at the Rifleman 2 as a stock 260, which gives it the max of 315. If they made this max here for the other ones 260, that would be okay with that. Sort of like the smallest engine that this one takes in lore is the largest engine that these ones can take. These 4, I would like that, but I won't complain. The fact is, this thing is going to have a crap ton of firepower for its weight, but you're going to have to acknowledge that you have that downside. If you're not really a mech that can make pushes, but you're also really slow, so you're going to get left behind in the potato sometimes with this thing. But when it works, and when you get a good firing position, and your enemies are distracted with your allies, this thing is going to put out insane quantities of damage per ton of its weight. Yeah, but that's going to be the Rifleman IIC. I'm trepidatious, if I'm using that word correctly. Yeah, hopefully I am. And I would wait until we see quirks and the first week of release. That's what I would do with this mech. I'm excited but concerned. It has some drawbacks that I'm not sure would be good. But it also can do the memes of 6 Ultra 2s, and that might even just be worth the purchase price. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and good hunting.